Oh boy. Once again, it's that time. Time for the Fike Club. We're so glad you joined us. My name is Richie Fike, and I'm here with the illustrious, one-of-a-kind, Justice Westerman Fike.
Hello, I am here, and I'm glad because I was not here last week because of my terrible decisions.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, you got to respect a man that just pulls the Band-Aid right off. We've been off for a couple weeks right after we launched this show. And the reason that we've had some time off is because, I think that's a way to put it, Justice. Some decisions that you made that have brought upon you some very dire repercussions.
Yeah, there's been some bad repercussions that I don't feel like talking about because I don't have to tell you my life story.
Once again, just starting off the show salty from the top.
I'm not salty. I'm just, a bit cranky, a bit hungry, and you get crangry.
What are you hungry for? It's late at night right now.
I don't know, some good old Japanese food or something. I don't know.
Okay, Justice, you have never eaten Japanese food in your life. Shinsuke Justice Amora.
Shinsuke Justamora.
No speaker.
No speak English.
Yeah, just so you know, we're not being mildly racist right now. That's a direct line from Shinsuke Nakamura, WWE superstar. Anyway, okay, so shout out to all our listeners and followers. We do apologize that it's been a minute since we've been back on the pod waves, as they say. But we're back, and we're excited today to talk to you, to talk with you, and to talk with each other. We got a loaded show, Justice. Loaded show.
We do, because we've been off for 2 weeks. That's what happens.
That's right. And in our absence, we have come up with some pretty cool surprises.
Yeah.
The people don't yet know what they're going to hear in this episode.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of work. Some of it is stuff you won't see. Some of it is stuff you're going to see.
Again, they're not going to see any of it.
Listen, I'm sorry.
I wonder how many episodes of this show it's going to take before you realize no one can see us.
You don't know. Maybe they're watching.
No.
Maybe they just have like a clock or something. It has like a camera in it.
Oh, wow.
And they're just watching us.
That's dark, dude.
Conspiracy theory.
That's dark. But, you never know. I mean, Facebook is coming under all kinds of pressure right now.
Mike Zuckerberg is a lizard, by the way.
Mike Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's a lizard.
I don't think that's his name.
He's an alien lizard thingy.
Mike Zuckerberg may be an alien lizard, but
lizard
that's not the name of the founder of Facebook.
Okay, what is it? I just know it's Mike Zuck.
Nope, I'm not even going to correct you because you're cooking yourself, and I'm just going to let you cook. Okay?
I'm James Harden.
I'm not even going to correct it. I'm just going to let you cook. Okay?
Wait, but who is it?
Nope, it's too late because you're so confident. You're so confident in Mike Zuckerberg. I'm just going to let you cook, my G. All right?
I feel like I'm saying you're wrong now.
Yeah, you could. It's possible. All right. He's only like the third most famous person on the earth.
Yeah, who cares?
Behind like Beyonce and...
No, Beyonce's not top 3.
Beyonce's top 3.
I don't know.
Probably Donald Trump is one of the most known.
And then Kim Jong-un and then Vlad Putin.
No, people don't know about Vlad Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
I didn't realize that we were abbreviating world leaders' names on this podcast, by the way.
Look.
Vlad Poot.
Vlad Poopy.
Oh, no. It's taking a dark turn. All right. So
all right, let's get out of politics.
Anyway, there's going to be... That's right. We did say there'd be nope. It's Mark Zuckerberg, just in case you're wondering. I don't know who Mike is. Maybe that's his lizard brother. But anyway. Okay. So one of the kind of surprises that we have this week is we're going to have some bumpers. And so, every week on this show, ideally we'll have kind of 4 to 5 kind of mainstay sections or sessions of our show. And obviously, you got Movie of the Week, you got the Miss Troop Award. You're going to hear about what we had been calling GM Corner, but we've changed the name. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. And then you're gonna have the question game. Those are going to happen every week. And so we have some just some kind of music to kind of set us up. We're both WWE fans, and nothing happens in WWE without some theme music, right?
Yeah.
So without further ado, it's time for the movie of the week.
The movie. The movie. The movie of the week.
Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies, see the movies. Fight Club at the movies. Movies, see the movies. Don't sleep on the Goonies. Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies. Movies.
The movie of the week.
That's right. The movie of the week. Come on, that's a hot song right there.
That's fantastic.
Don't sleep.
I wonder who wrote that.
Don't sleep on the Goonies. That's
What
my favorite
are
line.
the Goonies? Like, seriously,
Again,
what is a Goonie?
I think that the subtitle of this episode is "Let Justice Cook." I really think that's what it is.
Seriously, you people from the 80s, you're going to have to tell me what this is.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Some things you're just never going to understand until you experience it for yourself, and one day, my man, you will. So, the movie of the week this week is Back to
the Future.
Now, when we watched this movie tonight, initially, it seemed to me as though you had just kind of some cynicism about this movie. Like, as we watched it, I just sensed from you that you were like, you think that this is a good movie?
Well, I do think it ended fantastically. The beginning was straight up probably the worst I've ever seen.
Okay, talk to us about what was so bad about the beginning of the movie that made you think that there was no hope.
Well, they dig themselves in a hole really bad. Because, first of all, it just, like, the character development, I didn't meet my favorite character till, like, the actual plot started coming. And I didn't feel like they built up the main character at the beginning.
Was your favorite character Einstein?
Yeah.
He was?
No. It was the scientist.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown.
Okay. So let's get into it. What would you say, Justice, was like the message of the movie? What stood out about Back to the Future? What was the message of the movie?
Don't change. Don't be afraid to step up for yourself.
Wow. Okay. How'd you get that?
With, like, the dad becoming, like, he had to fight for himself and fight for what he wanted at the end. And that was, like, the big changing moment when he started to go back. And, like, he actually didn't evaporate.
He didn't evaporate, right. Now, let me ask you a question. I asked you this during the movie. What do you think it would be like to go back in time and to be transported into Robert E. Lee High School circa 1993-94 and to observe your dad as a high school student? Like, what do you think that experience would be like?
Well, if you haven't been lying to me, it should be fantastic.
Man, I only tell you the good stuff. I will be honest with you. I don't think I've told you about all of the terrible experiences that happen in high school. And plus, I think I just kind of washed them out of my mind. But watching the movie tonight, I got to be honest. I want to say two things. Number one, parents. If you're going to watch this movie with a young kid, I was really surprised by a movie in 1985 that was rated PG. I'm just really surprised how many curse words were in this movie. Like there was I'm not going to say what all they were, but everything but the worst one was in the movie. Literally every bad word except the worst bad word was in the movie. Now, I saw a girl on Tuesday night at an Encounter, which is our college ministry here at McKinney Church. and her T-shirt said, "I love Jesus, but I cuss a little."
Yeah, that's mommy.
And oh, just gonna put it in the streets, huh? Let them know about mommy. Well, mommy gets it from daddy too. So anyway, I saw that T-shirt, but and I was just listening to the movie tonight, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of cussing in this movie. So that surprised me. That's one of the things that surprised me. Third question: what held up and what didn't? When you watch this movie, first of all, you have no context for whether or not that movie was authentically 1985 or authentically 1955, because you have never been alive for either of those years. So in your mind, what held up and what didn't?
For me, I thought the 1955 part where they were like out in the middle of nowhere, from what I understand, by 1955 most places were populated. So that just was like weird to me.
You're telling me that you think that there was no areas in the world in 1955 that were unpopulated. This is your theory.
No, what I'm saying is like I feel like most cities by that time would have like grown a bit. I felt like they sort of
by 1955.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to study more.
I don't look. I'm studying.
We need to cut this.
I'm studying the 1800s, boy. So I'll get there.
And in the 1800s, by that time they already had what, like
nuclear bombs.
I mean, they already had like iTunes and like Amazon.com. You could order a pair of headphones and they would show up at your door the next day. I mean, it was the 1800s. Goodness gracious.
That's some great sarcasm.
Yeah. So what held up, what didn't? How about the music? Gosh.
I love the music. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you liked the music from 1955?
No, the 85.
Oh, okay, like the Huey Lewis?
Yeah.
That's the power of love.
I like that song because it was like I felt like I felt like they did that part really well.
Did you feel the power of love throughout the movie?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing that really freaked me right out. Do you know what it was?
What?
Maybe one of the most uncomfortable movie scenes in the history of movies. When Marty McFly is sitting in a car with his mom and she wants to make out with him.
Yeah, that's really
Now this was a kiss that no one should cheer for.
Yeah, no one did.
And I was proud of you for not cheering for this kiss.
What if I was like, yeah?
You reverted back to the old Justice in that moment. You were like, what?
No, I just watched it. I was like, it's cinema. It's gonna happen.
It's cinema, people. That's quotable right there. Okay, so that's what didn't hold up, or that was a little weird. Was there anything that went over your head? Was there any kind of stuff that happened in the movie that you go, I don't get what they're talking about?
Most of the 50s stuff, I had no idea. I had no idea most of the 80s stuff. And this felt like a movie for the people that lived in the 1900s. I didn't.
In the so if you were born in 1902, this was a movie for you.
No, you know what I mean, though. Because I'm pretty sure there's nobody born in 1902 still alive.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think there are. How about 1932?
I don't know. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't.
Who's to say? You're old. What do we know?
You're making me sound like oldest or something.
You are oldest. Is that a thing?
Wait, go to the dictionary now.
Hashtag oldest. Spelled OLDIST, not OLDEST. Wow. We've created a new term for derogatory language.
Yeah.
Justice Fike is officially a hashtag oldest.
No, I'm not.
That's
I
so
love
harsh.
the old people. They're so nice and friendly.
You're gonna have some explaining to do.
Miss Pippin's the best.
Miss Pippin? Who's she?
Oh, she's the front front desk person at her school.
And she's old?
Above 60.
How? Oh gosh. How would she appreciate it if she heard that you were calling her old?
I'm not saying she's old. She's wonderful and she's great.
But that won't ever happen because she's too old to understand how to work a podcast. Is that what you're saying?
No. You're changing my words.
Oh, man. Let Justice Cook. 2018.
Hashtag.
Okay. Fifth question. Is the movie, in your opinion, relevant to both your generation and my generation?
No.
Whoa! Tell me why. Before you say no, at the end of the movie, and this is a spoiler alert. If by 2018 you haven't seen Back to the Future, which is a 33-year-old movie, but if you haven't seen it, at the end of the movie, Doc Brown shows up and says, "We got to go back to the future," and now he means the actual future from where they are. And when that happened, what did you say out loud in the living room when we watched this?
I don't remember.
Okay, I will quote you. You said, "I really want to see the next one."
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it was a really good movie, but I didn't understand most of the references.
But did you have to? Did you? That's what I'm asking you. That's the point of the podcast. Did you have to understand all of the little nuances and the references in the movie? Did you need to understand those things to understand and enjoy the movie?
No.
Right. You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, but I thought what you meant was like, was it relevant? Like, is there stuff from both generations?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's kind of a tricky question. I think what I mean when I say, is the movie relevant, I guess I mean, did you like it? You know, will kids your age and people my age, is this a movie that we can both kind of sit in the living room together and watch this movie together?
I feel like for most people that would still be a no, because some people, don't like stuff from the 80s. Not my opinion most of the time. Their opinion.
Yeah.
80s. I have a dance tomorrow with 80s themed.
Oh, we're
Go
gonna
80s.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Okay, if they made this movie in 2018, which, by the way, they have remade this movie, this idea, like hundreds of times since 1985. That there have been all kinds of different movies that have explored the subject of time travel, and to varying effects. The thing I think about, and this might blow your mind. Listen to this. Okay, yeah. So you know that whole thing about, like, they've got the picture, and his brother disappears.
Yeah.
And then his sister disappears.
Yep.
And now he's standing on the stage with a guitar, and he looks up, and his hand is gone.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. If he is in the past, right?
Yep.
But he's from the future.
Yeah.
Then either he will be born or he won't.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole thing about watching things happen in real time, and this redhead kid steps in to try to dance with George McFly, and now all of a sudden my hand is missing.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
It is, but it's film, and let's be honest here, there's so much non-scientific stuff in that movie. Like, seriously, it was not scientific.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that there is no such thing as a flux capacitor?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that most of the science in that movie is proven wrong by common sense and science in our era.
Hashtag let justice cook. Okay. How many fikes on a scale of 1 to 10 fikes would you give this movie?
I would give it a solid, give me a drum roll, 7.5.
7.5 fikes. Wow. I think, okay, so just to be clear, I haven't watched that movie in 20 years. So when we watched it today, that's the first time I've seen it in forevs. And so...
it was Mage.
Yeah, it was a Mage movie, but, like, I don't know. I'd probably give it 8.5, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It's not a 10 out of 10.
It's not.
And it wouldn't be in my top 20. But I think it's the kind of movie that this podcast is made to talk about. So I'm glad we did it. That was our movie of the week. And now it's time for our next segment, Boss Moves. You can't tell me that you are not nodding your head in your car right now. Come on. Boss Moves is super mage.
It's fantastical.
You told me that you want to change your ringtone to this song.
I do. I really do.
I think that would be a boss move.
I truthfully do too.
Yeah. Okay, so Boss Moves is our kind of moment to talk about the things that are happening in the world of sports, to talk about major moves that GMs around the country are making. And so, Justice, take it away. What is the boss move of the week?
The boss move of the week. Give me a drum roll.
You don't need a drum roll. You got the song.
Okay. It's Dallas Cowboys releasing Dez Bryant.
Wow.
Yeah. I was not surprised by this move, but I'm glad they did it because last year was not the best.
How many years has Dez Bryant played for the Cowboys?
Like 6, 7?
Uh-huh. And how did he do with Tony Romo?
Fantastic.
And how did he do with Dak Prescott?
Hot trash.
Okay, that's harsh. Here we go again with the hot trash. You've taken it up a level. Now it's no longer just trash, but it's hot trash.
Yeah, he was hot trash.
Hot steaming garbage.
Hot steaming garbage.
Wow. Des Bryant, if you're listening, which he isn't.
He isn't.
Come on, let's be real. He's not listening.
Let's be honest.
But if you're listening, Des, I didn't say it. Hashtag let Justice cook.
I knew you were going to say it.
Dude, you're like a crock pot tonight, my dude. You are cooking.
That's how I'm going to be every week. I'm just going to roast person by person.
Wow, that's super godly, my dude. Super
it is.
Yeah.
It's the most godly thing I've ever done, you know.
And you're the most humble man that ever lived. Hashtag let me cook.
Preach!
Yeah. So, Des Bryant got released. Who's going to pick him up?
I think the Patriots will. And I think the Patriots are also going to pick up C.J. Anderson.
What? Oh, no. Why wouldn't the Cowboys at least try to get a 4th or 5th round pick for Dez?
Because nobody wanted him because they always said, he's terrible, don't get him. It was terrible by Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones did terrible on that.
I'm confused. First of all, you said it was a boss move, that he just dropped them, and now you're saying that it was a terrible move.
I'm saying the way he handled it was bad, but he made a smart decision.
He made a shrewd decision.
No, they have now $8 million more dollars to spend this upcoming year.
Yeah, and do you think they'll draft wide receivers?
Yeah, they're gonna draft Calvin Ridley. Sorry,
Calvin Ridley. Who do you play for?
Alabama.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That hurts my heart to hear that. Okay, while we're talking sports, let's go ahead and give a quick NBA playoff prediction. Now, to be fair, it is Thursday. The playoffs started on Saturday, so a lot of the series have already gone 2 or 3 games. So, but they're pretty much all going, except for one, the exact way that we probably thought they would go. We don't need to go through each round and talk about who's going to win what. Let's just give our finals predictions.
We'll just say the first round and then go straight to the finals.
We'll just okay, you can do that. I'm not going to go through each series. I'll tell you who I think will be in the finals, but
okay.
Go ahead. 76ers Heat.
Sixers are obviously going to win this.
Obviously. Right now it looks like it's a 2-1 lead Sixers, and it's obvious to you, okay? Raptors Wizards. Who's going to win that?
Raptors.
Yeah. Cavs Pacers. It's tied up 1-1, and even after LeBron scored 16 points in the first quarter on his own, at one point it was the score of the game was 16-1. LeBron had 16 and the Pacers had 1. But even after all that work and all that incredible offense by LeBron, they only won by 3 points. And now they got to go back to Indiana. They haven't played in Indiana yet. And my dude, what's his name, number 4?
Oladipo.
I call him Baby Harden.
Yeah.
Because that's who he looks like to me. He looks like Baby Harden.
Anyways, I have the Cavs in 7.
You got the Cavs in 7?
And then they're going to lose to the Raptors.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Boss moves. Celtics versus Bucks. Who you got?
I have the Celtics barely winning in 6.
I don't think it's a barely. I don't think the Bucks look good.
I mean, Celtics don't have a star player.
It doesn't matter. They have the best coach in the NBA.
I think it goes either 5 or 6. I'll say that.
Okay. Oh yeah. So Antetokounmpo gets him 1 game.
Yep.
Okay. Rockets versus Wolves is not close.
Rockets in 4.
Yeah. Warriors versus Spurs.
Warriors in 4.
Yeah. Again, the mic. Blazers versus Pelicans.
Pelicans in
Okay,
5.
but be honest. If I had asked you this question last Friday before the playoffs started, what would you have said?
Blazers.
You would have said Blazers.
I'm going to say Blazers, though. I think Blazers are going to come back 3 in 7 games.
You think they're going to win 4 straight games? Well, we don't know if they won
Yeah.
tonight yet. Okay, man, I got to tell you, you want to hear you want to know a boss move?
What?
How about the Pelicans picking up a guy that nobody else wanted, who is now helping them to really be a strong NBA team?
Who?
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
That was a boss move.
It was.
They got him for $1 million,
Yeah.
which is cheap in the NBA, and he is legit.
Yeah. Playoff Rondo is probably one of the best point guards.
And Drew Holiday's the truth, bro.
Yeah, he's been doing really good this series.
I didn't know. I really didn't know. I really had no confidence in the Pelicans at all. Sorry. I know a lot of Louisiana people listen to this. Sorry, y'all. But I just didn't have any confidence in them. And they are proving me wrong. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Anyways, Thunder v Jazz. I have the Thunder in 6.
It's tied up, right? The Jazz won last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I agree with almost everything you said, except, let's see, I think the Pacers are going to beat the Cavs.
Serious?
I do.
In how many games?
6.
Okay. All right. Finals prediction.
Finals prediction. I have, and this is kind of boring, but I have the Raptors and the Rockets.
Raptors, Rockets. I'm surprised you got off the Warriors bandwagon. This whole year you were on it.
I just, from watching the Rockets play, first of all, every time James Harden gets the ball, he travels. I mean, he's like, look, since you're not going to call it, I'm going to take 11 steps. Yeah, and so if you're going to let him travel, I guess they're going to get all the way. I mean, every time he does a step back jumper, he takes 4 steps to get back to the 3-point line with the ball in his hand. That's a travel.
Okay. All right. Well, my prediction is the Raptors.
Yeah.
Who are going to barely beat the Sixers in 6 games.
That'll be a fun... If that happens...
Oh, it's happening.
If it's Raptors, Sixers, that'll be a fun series.
Yeah.
That'll be a really fun series. And, you know, I mean... So the Celtics would have to play the Cavs or Pacers?
No, the Celtics would play the Sixers. So the Celtics are definitely going to lose.
Celtics Sixers is going to be a great...
No, it's not.
It's going to be great.
And Gordon is out.
I don't care. I'm telling you, Brad Stevens is a great coach. And he's going to make that be a very tough series. I'm excited about the Sixers.
Yeah.
You've been giving me a lot of flack saying that I'm talking bad about the Sixers. I think they're great.
Okay.
I'm excited about Ben Simmons. I'm sad that he phoned it in at LSU. I'll never forgive him. But I want him to win. I want him to succeed. I like seeing greatness, you know. Anyway, all right. So what did you say?
Rockets, Raptors, Rockets winning in 5.
So we said the same thing.
Pretty
in
much.
5.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bold.
So the reason why I have the Rockets is I feel like when Steph comes back, it's going to be like you remember the 2016, how he was so injury prone that playoffs and he could barely stay a full series.
Who's this? Who are you talking about?
Steph.
Oh, you think he's that injured?
I think he's that injured.
I tell you what, there's going to be 2 series that are going to be fun to watch, and that is Rockets Warriors. That'll go 6 or 7, and the Thunder versus the Rockets. That's going to be a fun series.
I've been hearing that people are saying the Thunder are going to upset the Rockets.
Come on. No.
You're like, come no.
Is Carmelo Anthony still on the Thunder?
Yeah.
No, then it won't happen.
You're like, no.
No. We watched too many games with him with the Nuggets where he just I'm sorry, Mello is just not. I really don't even like him that much.
Look, the only reason I'm like okay with him is because he was a Nugget, but that's it.
Everybody says, "Oh, but Olympic Mello is awesome." I'm like, cool, but this isn't the Olympics. And y'all aren't playing against like Croatia tonight, you know. So, all right, cool. That's our boss move section. Now it's time for another weekly segment, and that is the Mrs. Stroop Award. Now, the Stroop Award is named after
Miss Stroop, probably my best teacher I've had in a long time.
Kathy Stroop, here from Fort Worth, Texas. Great teacher. We love you, Mrs. Stroop. And so every week, Justice is going to give away an award to someone who has taught him something. Ideally a teacher, but maybe someone else. But without further ado, it's time to celebrate the Mrs. Stroop Award winner of the week.
Stroop, baby, Stroop, baby, Stroop. This award is called the Stroop, baby, Stroop. Mrs. Stroop, this award is called the Stroop, baby, Stroop. Mrs. Stroop, this award is called the Stroop, baby, Stroop, baby, Stroop. This award is called the Stroop.
All right, my dude. Who is the Mrs. Stroop Award winner for this week?
This one goes out to two people, very important people in my life. My two parents, who over these past 2 weeks have taught me a couple of lessons about life that I was not ready for. Whether that be through eating my brother's chicken nuggets, or happening to not finish well in this fourth quarter so far. They've taught me how to get through it and how to clean bathrooms. I'm not grateful for that last one, by the way.
Just to be totally honest, it wasn't me that taught you how to clean the bathrooms, was it?
Yeah, it was Mommy.
Now, she did say that the bathrooms were maybe the cleanest they've ever been.
I've put work into my stuff.
Yeah. So, okay, we alluded to it earlier in the show, but the first 3 quarters of this school year, by the way, thank you for this illustrious award. I appreciate this award. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Brooklyn, stand up. We did it.
Brooklyn, we did it.
Brooklyn, stand up. Anyway.
Mama, I made it.
So the first 3 quarters of this school year, you were an honor roll student.
Yes, I was.
They can never take that from you.
They can never take that.
Right?
And I'm going to be that this fourth quarter.
I like the confidence.
I just had a bit of a rough bump in the road.
Yeah, so I think I don't know what really happened, and I think it'd be good to talk a little bit about it. But you lost focus.
I did. Luckily, it was very easy to get back on track because the classes I was doing bad in, I'm usually good in. So they let me do a bit to get that grade up.
Yes. So last weekend on
Hashtag get that grade up.
Yeah, on Friday, we got alerted to your grades, and we were your mom and I were shocked and surprised and dismayed by what we saw, and we kind of lost it a little bit on you. And you know, we're imperfect people, and we're grateful that Chris preached a sermon. Chris Freeland preached a sermon that very next Sunday,
Yep.
and communicated specifically, I think, to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That your parents are a gift to you. So, Chris, we want you to know that we heard
you
that.
You were a great inspiration.
We heard that. We received that. And it meant a lot to our family that you would big us up in that way. So, thank you very much. But no, we just had a tough moment on Friday when we came to the realization. So, you lost the privileges of electronics. PS4, and honestly, you lost the privilege of doing a podcast last week. And by the way, that means I got punished because I really like doing this podcast too. Yeah. So what do you feel like? I mean, you haven't dug out of the hole yet, but what do you feel like you are learning about yourself, and through this kind of moment of failure and moment of, boy, I got to fix this. What have you learned about yourself, and what are you going to do to kind of correct what happened?
Man, when you dig a hole for yourself, it's hard to get out. And when you're on the way out, you're going to get a bump every once in a while, and you're going to fall. So it's a hard time getting up, and then once you get it back on your own 2 feet, you have to get to the point where you have to get back in the habit of not forgetting to do homework, forgetting to do your work, and stuff like that.
I wonder if any of your fellow students and friends that listen to this podcast can relate to what you're going through, because the thing that I don't quite understand about you is you will do the work that you are supposed to do and then not turn it in.
Yeah.
What's that about?
No comment. Just kidding. So pretty much, when you're at school, you can be very forgetful because you're usually tired in the morning. So I feel like for me, it's just like, and then you just forget. Mostly because teachers are like, they'll say it once and that's it.
Right, and you're learning that in the real world.
They don't tell you, okay, turn it in.
It's like
pressure you to turn it in.
It's like, hey, this is due. Where is it?
Yep.
There's no.
I feel like that was an important lesson for me and for any students that struggle with that. You just don't do what I did, but sort of understand. Okay, I gotta turn in my work.
That's good. So you learned some lessons. You're still digging out. Still, you're not going to have electronics.
One of my feet is out.
Until we get all the grades at least to a B, right?
Yup.
And so we're working on it. And so we appreciate your prayers for Justice as he works hard. And I'm really proud of you for the way that you dug in this week. And honestly, man, when I was a kid and I got punished, I had a bad attitude about it. I remember when I was a kid, I would just be kind of a jerk to my mom and dad whenever I got punished. I was super mad at them, and I would be real mopey and emotional. And man, on Saturday, your mom made you clean, I think, every square inch of this house.
Yep.
From top to bottom. And dude, you had the best attitude on Saturday. I was really, really pleased with you and proud of you for the way you took your medicine,
Yeah, when I was, mommy doesn't even know this. When you weren't here and mommy went out, I was just sitting on that couch.
Yeah.
In the hallway upstairs. And I was like, man, I really need to just stay positive, try and get it done. Because the sooner I get it done, the sooner I don't have to worry about it. And the sooner I can just go and sleep.
And you did some of that too. All right, cool. Well, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Your mom and I will gladly receive the Stroop Award this week. We're excited to do that. Now, I do want to ask you, one of the segments that we don't have a bumper for yet is kind of in my world. This idea of just kind of giving a snapshot of what's happening in our world. We talked about getting grounded and what that feels like. You've got football coming up this summer. You're going to be doing 7-on-7s.
No, it's not for linemen.
You're signed up for 7-on-7, my G.
Oh.
Yeah, you're about to learn some. You're going to learn today.
Learn today.
You're signed up for 7-on-7. You're going to be doing workouts 2 or 3 days a week. You're going to do a little camp for football this summer. So,
probably
bro,
gonna be in the weight room every day, which I love.
You're about to get yoked.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think this might be my best summer ever.
Wow. But I'll tell you this. The one thing I wanted to ask you about, and you know what? I'll save it. I'll save it for the question game because I have an important question to ask you during the question game.
Okay.
In fact, why don't we get to that now? Question game is a time where each of us get to ask each other questions and we have to answer. It's pretty simple, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty simple.
And, of course, the question game gets kicked off by one of our favorite WWE superstars.
Elias.
Walk with Elias.
And I have a question for everybody here tonight.
Ask Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you ask so many questions?
Now let me ask you something. I got another question.
Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why
Do
you
you
ask so
wanna know
many
what I
questions?
think?
Asking all these questions, why you ask so many questions?
Further questions! Let the games begin.
Yes, let the games begin. All right, Justice, I'm going to go first this week.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, you are going to a dance.
Yes, my first ever.
First ever dance. So,
By the way, it's not like how in Back to the Future they're like doing like classic dancing. No, it's just probably gonna be like us doing like like this move. What's it called? Or like the what's this?
that's the sprinkler.
Or like the Spreaker. We're probably gonna be doing that.
By the way, once again, no one can see you. You know this.
I know, but I was hoping you would know so I could say it.
All right. So, okay, at this dance tomorrow night, what is it exactly that you are hoping to experience at this dance?
I am expecting to have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see who's the first person to, because I like parties when it's co-ed. There's like that line, the girls side and then the boys side.
Right.
I can't wait to see who's going to be the guy or girl that decides to cross that line.
If you had to predict, who would you say?
I'm going to go with Molly.
Molly's going to break the line.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And is this 7th grade only or 7th and 8th?
7th and 8th.
Whoa. The 8th grade class. They're trouble. Right?
Come on, Daddy.
All right. So, okay. And it's an 80s themed party.
It is. So, Back to the Future, thank you. You caught me up with what happens in the 80s.
What did you see tonight in the movie that you might try to utilize for the 80s party tomorrow?
Bad dancing.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be the guy out on the dance floor doing the bad moves, going, guys, it's the 80s. That's why I look like this.
I'm just going to be the goofy guy that's like stupid, absolutely stupid,
Okay.
and just accepts it.
All right. What is your question for me, my dude?
What is the craziest job you ever had?
I'll tell you the shortest job I ever had.
Sure.
I had a job once at La Madeleine. You know La Madeleine? You don't know it.
I know.
It's in the Mall, Louisiana. And it's like a pastry shop. And they made you dress like a 50-year-old French man with these stupid hats and like aprons to like work the cash register. And I told the manager I'd been hired. I went through the interview process, and on my first day of the job, I said, "Hey, look, I'm glad I get to work here, but do I have to wear this stupid hat all day?" Just like that. And she said, "You don't have to wear it at all. You're fired." I worked there for 3 hours.
She was sensitive.
They take those hats very seriously.
You need to show me a picture of that hat.
La Madeleine hats are not a game, my dude. All right, so that ends another terrific podcast. We hope it was terrific. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to us. We're looking forward next week to another great episode. We're either going to watch Back to the Future 2 or I kind of have my eye on Tommy Boy.
Or Avengers Infinity War.
Well, that's coming up too. We have, man, next weekend's crazy. We have the Greatest Royal Rumble. Yes, that's what I'm actually most excited for. Greatest Royal Rumble, which is a WWE thing in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's going to be crazy. So there's that, and then there's Avengers Infinity War, which is apparently 17 hours long.
Is it?
It's a very, very long
I've heard
podcast.
it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, so we got that, and of course we'll have stories to tell from this incredible 80s dance that you're going to. So, man, going to be an awesome week. Everybody that's listened to us, please follow us on Twitter at The Fight Club.
And on Instagram at The Fight Club.
And remember, The only rule of the Fight Club is...
Always talk about us. Never stop talking about us.
God,
it doesn't even matter if you're talking about a sandwich. Relate it to the Fight Club.
That really sounded like desperate and thirsty when you said it. I feel... I feel deeply insecure. Like, please talk about us.
Please, we need you.
Yeah, so anyway, the only rule of the Fight Club is talk about the Fight Club, because we want people to know about it and be a part of what we're doing. Hey, we love you guys. We look forward to hearing from you. We want to do a mailbag question game. So if you have some challenging questions that you want to send to us.
Second week of May.
Send it to thefightclub@gmail.com, and we'll use some of your questions on the air. We love you guys. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.